You ever had one of those days where you think, this can't possibly get worse? And then it absolutely does. Yeah, that's Jenny stepping into her brand new life in India, surrounded by 5 enormous bags of shoes, a suspicious mother-in-law, and absolutely no idea what kind of fire she just walked into. But hold up. Let's rewind for a second. Because this is not just a move in day, it's the first step into a cultural battlefield disguised as a family home. 5 big bags of shoes. Really? Sumit's mom raises an eyebrow that could cut glass. Jenny laughs awkwardly. That laugh we all do when we realize someone's not joking. And right there, in that moment, you can almost see the regret flicker across her face. What am I doing here? She's thousands of miles away from her comfort zone, trapped in a kitchen full of judgmental stares and spices she can't pronounce. And worse, she's about to realize that living with Sumit's family means every single move will be watched, judged, and politely corrected. Now, imagine this: you've just unpacked your things, and the first thing your in-laws find is your secret stash of alcohol.
Yeah.
The one you hid under the socks. Jenny freezes. The mother gasps. The father frowns. Instant chaos. And that's when Jenny mutters the line of the episode, "I feel like I'm a child again." And I'm not. I'm a grown lady. But honestly, that line hits. Because who hasn't felt that way? Trying to fit into a place where every small habit feels like rebellion. And then the cooking test. Every family has one. The moment you're silently asked to prove your worth by feeding everyone without burning down the kitchen. Jenny, bless her soul, decides to make spaghetti. Yes. Italian noodles in an Indian kitchen. Spaghetti. Sumit's mom repeats, like Jenny just said she's cooking unicorns for dinner. But Jenny's confident. It's my hit dish in America, she insists.
Oh, Jenny. Not this house.
Not this country. Not this century. The family watches as she bowls the noodles. No spices. No turmeric. No chili. Just plain pasta and jar sauce. The culinary equivalent of tap water to an Indian family. You can feel the silence in the room. The awkward glances. Even the dog looks unimpressed. Jenny proudly serves the plates. Parmesan cheese in hand. Just sprinkle however much you want, she says, smiling wide. The first bite lands. The verdict. It tried really well, but a little alante. And as per Indian taste, we want some salt. Translation: it tastes like sadness. And then comes the dagger. Sumit's mom leans in, smiling that sweet, but deadly smile only mothers-in-law have mastered. From tomorrow you will be cooking daily. Jenny blinks. What? Sumit translates, trying not to laugh. She says you will cook every day. Because, you know, we eat every day. Boom, that's it. The spaghetti just became her life sentence. Let's be real. This moment wasn't about food. It was about control. Tradition, power. Jenny just stepped into a world where love doesn't mean comfort. It means compromise. And the family, they're already setting the rules. No rest, no wine, and definitely no American spaghetti. Now tell me honestly, could you survive this? Living in your in-laws' house, being told to cook, clean, and change your entire rhythm. A pause right here. If you were Jenny, would you pack your bags or stick it out for love? Drop your vote in the comments. I need to know how many of you would last even one night in that house. And if you're watching this thinking, no way I'd survive that, then hit that subscribe button right now, because we've got way more stories where the drama burns hotter than Jenny's spaghetti sauce. But wait, the chaos doesn't stop there. Because Jenny's not just moving in. She's also about to work with this same family. Yes, they're opening a cafe together. You heard that right. A family business where every argument will be marinated in judgment and served with a side of emotional trauma. Jenny looks at Sumit and says what every viewer is screaming at the screen. If I work all day in the cafe, I can't come home and start cooking again. But Sumit just smiles the smile of a man who knows he's not winning this one either. Because in this house, mom's rules are law. And here's where it gets deep and a little sad. Jenny doesn't mind cleaning. She even says she enjoys it. But it's not about cleaning. It's about being told to do it. It's about being treated like a guest who overstayed her welcome in her own marriage. And all this, it's just day one. One single day. By the end of the night, Jenny's spaghetti is cold, her spirit's crushed, and her smile is barely hanging on. And as she says, if this is how things are starting out, I don't know what the future holds. We all know she's right. Because if day 1 felt like this, what's day 30 gonna look like? But hold that thought, things get even more intense. Jenny wakes up late, refuses to fall in line, and ends up facing off against the entire household. And that moment changes everything. So stay tuned, because you're about to see what happens when love meets tradition head-on. Have you ever woken up in someone else's house and instantly felt like you were doing everything wrong? Like even the way you breathe is too loud? Well, that's Jenny, the next morning in her new Indian home. The birds are chirping, The family's already awake, and somewhere in the courtyard, Sumit's mom is chopping wood like a warrior preparing for battle. Meanwhile, Jenny, still in bed. Baby, see my beard looking good? Sumit asks, trying to lighten the mood. Yeah, she says, half asleep. But the mood, already tense. Sumit's entire family is outside cleaning, working, and making breakfast. And Jenny, still wrapped in a blanket, is about to become the day's main headline. Because in this house, sleeping in is not just lazy, it's disrespectful. Sumit leans closer, whispering like a man defusing a bomb, my mom and everybody are working. This is your first day. You want to have trouble. Jenny's eyes snap open. Trouble? For sleeping past 8. I'm an adult. She fires back. I like to relax in the morning. I like to sleep in. But deep down, she knows he's right. The moment she walks out that door, the judgment will start, and yet she refuses to play along. Because for Jenny, this is more than a family rule. It's about independence. The one thing she left everything behind to keep. She asks quietly, should I go out there first or change my clothes first? Sumit sighs. Change. Just change first. It's such a small moment, but it says everything. Jenny's already losing her rhythm. Second, guessing her every move. Because when you live in a house where everyone's watching, even brushing your hair feels like a performance. Now, picture the scene. Jenny walks out, sunlight hitting her face, trying to act normal. But every eye turns toward her like she just walked onto a stage she didn't audition for. Good morning, she says, smiling nervously. No response, just stares. Then, finally, Sumit's mom, like a general issuing orders, me chai. Sumit translates. You make tea for her. Jenny blinks. Oh, okay. Okay. The voice of every person who's ever been forced into something they didn't want to do but smiled anyway. And here's where the tension really starts to brew. No pun intended. Because making tea isn't about tea. It's about proving whether Jenny belongs. Sumit's mom stands close, watching her every movement. Every spoon, every pour, every little hesitation, judged in silence. Jenny's hands shake slightly as she tries to remember what Sumit told her. But you can feel her frustration bubbling beneath that polite smile. This is not her morning. This is her test. Now, pause right here, because I want you to think about this. What would you do if your partner's family treated you like a live-in guest who needs constant correction? Would you adapt quietly, or would you push back? Comment, 8APT, if you'd play it cool. Comment, IGHT, if you'd speak up like Jenny's about to do. Because trust me, things are about to blow up. Jenny finishes the tea. She serves it with a forced smile. Sumit's mom takes a sip. Silence. Then she gives that polite nod, the kind that says, acceptable, not impressive. Jenny can't help herself. Good? She asks. Sumit's mom looks at her with the expression of a queen tolerating a jester. Okay. Just okay. And that tiny word cuts deeper than a full insult. Jenny forces a laugh, but her eyes say it all. She's cracking. Because here's the truth no one's saying out loud. Jenny didn't just move into a house. She moved into a hierarchy, and every day will be a new round of silent battles. Tea, cooking, cleaning, respect, obedience. This isn't just a culture clash. It's a slow, quiet identity crisis, and it's only getting started. Let's be honest. We've all had moments where love made us compromise. But there's a fine line between compromise and losing yourself completely. And as Jenny looks around at this bustling house where everyone knows their role, she's realizing she doesn't have one yet. No job title. No freedom. Just a list of expectations she never agreed to. And here's where the real tension sneaks in. The family's opening a cafe. Everyone's excited, except Jenny. Because the thought of working all day with her in-laws, then coming home to cook for them, that's not a dream. That's a documentary on emotional exhaustion. She pulls Sumit aside and says, if I work all day, I can't come home and start cooking again. Sumit nods but says nothing. Because deep down, he knows he can't protect her from this. This is India. This is family. And this is Jenny's new reality.